The City of Witches, Episode 32, Capo di Tutte, Chapter 6. The crawl was not pleasant for anyone. The tunnel was dark, cold, and dirty, and it wasn't that deep underground, so it seemed like they could hear a guard at any moment. What added to the feeling was the construction that meant collapse danger at any moment. Drillerman was supposed to dig the tunnel after all, not reinforce it. The first one to reach the end was Angelo. He stuck his head out and looked around. "Clear," Angelo said. "We can go out, but be careful." One by one, everybody stepped out of the tunnel and into Nišfanat's territory. "We better get out of here," said Angelo. "I wouldn't want to meet the soldiers when they return." "Good idea," said Lily. "Besides, we should move quickly. I would like to find Twilight of the Gods before it causes a full-on war." "Yeah, that sounds like something I would like to prevent either," said Angelo. One last look around for guards, and Angelo, Lily, and Ursula were all sprinting into Nišfanat's territory. There was no turning back now. The most difficult part of the mission was nearing them. Training magic with Aunt Caitlin usually felt great for Sarah. This time, however, Sarah felt differently. She couldn't stop thinking about her friends traveling through the fairy realm. Were they all safe? And were they sure this was the best thing they could do? Aunt Caitlin of course noticed that something was occupying the thoughts of her niece. "Are you worried about something?" she asked her. Sarah sighed and explained everything to her aunt. "Oh, Sarah," Aunt Caitlin said, "some things are not simply black or white. Sometimes it all depends on perspective." Sarah still wasn't calm. "Besides, I know young Dickens very well," said Aunt Caitlin. "She will know what to do." "Are you sure?" said Sarah. "Yes, she is a highly moral person," said Aunt Caitlin. "Now, let's get back to training. I was thinking that you would like to know how to make the Night Owl ointment." "What does it do?" asked Sarah. "It lets you work through the night as if it was the day," said Aunt Caitlin. "Oh, that will be great to know," said Sarah. "But watch out," said Aunt Caitlin. "Once you use it, it knocks you out for the entire day as soon as the sun rises." "Of course," said Sarah. "Some things are not simply black or white." When Lily and her guests were traversing the streets of Nišfanat's city, the soldier who talked to Lily returned to the place where she showed him the hole under the fence. This time, he brought some companions from patrol. A hole under the fence is no joke. Nobody ever knows what might come to the district through these holes. That is why dealing with them is so important. "It was somewhere here," said the soldier on the front. "You better be telling the truth," said the soldier in the back, armed with a shovel. "Or you know what happens." Yeah, Kanimfelli Nišfanat always speaks loud and clear," said the first soldier. "Besides, you'll see soon for yourself." When the two got to the scene, the soldier with the shovel was really surprised. The soldier who got him to his outpost was surprised too. Instead of one hole in the ground, there were two. One of them was just where the patrolling soldier remembered it. The other one was on the other side of the fence. That could only mean one thing. Whatever was coming through the hole has already come. "Dang, they were fast," said the patrolling soldier. "Wonderful. What now?" said the soldier with the shovel, and gave his companion his tool. "You cover that hole, and I'll announce alert." It was a long trek to find Nišfanat's base. It was almost on the opposite side of the city, just as if Nišfanat wanted to build it as far away from his enemy as possible. But at last, after walking for a long time, Angelo, Lily, and Ursula have found it. "Of course he couldn't have built it closer," Angelo joked. "What did he have in mind? Training his soldiers for a marathon?" "All right, remember to stay on high alert," said Lily. "Nišfanat's base is the only place in this district that is guarded even more heavily than the border." "No wonder, with a Damocles sword this big," said Angelo. I bet he hasn't found a way to turn it against others. Lily tried to discreetly fly up to see how the base was fortified. Ursula, however, grabbed her by the ankle and pulled her to the ground. Lily saw that Ursula was pointing at something in the air. And indeed, she had reasons to pull her down. The airspace of the base was constantly guarded by flying snipers. This doesn't look good, whispered Lily. You have to be kidding, whispered Angelo. We won't suddenly become invisible. We'll just have to look for their blind spots, said Lily. And hope they actually have them. Everyone thought there was nothing better to do, so they agreed to simply observe the snipers, patiently, for a long time. Just under Nišfanat's base, there was a giant transmission room. A dozen of dozens communication officers were constantly talking through radio transceivers. And one of those officers has received an interesting report from one of the soldiers deployed to patrol the border between districts. Are you sure about that? The officer asked. There is no way to know for sure, said the soldier. But I think we should look out for those trespassers. What makes you think that they might be after Kalinimia Anpessen? Asked the officer. We only got our hands on it recently, said the soldier. Omijak might be impatient to get it back. All right, I understand, said the officer. I'll inform General Shaka. The soldier gulped at the sound of the name of the general protecting the base where the stolen weapon was being hidden. They better hope they're favored by the gods.